Hi guys, it's Krista from Playing with a Purpose, and today I'm going to show you some new things that I picked up for my daycare. If you're new here, my name is Krista and I'm a childcare provider for up to 5 children, and on my channel you'll find tips and tricks, all things related to childcare, shopping hauls, and the odd family vlog. Typically, childcare providers will owe at the end of the year to the government for income tax, and that's because we're not being taxed off a paycheck all year. So what I like to do is set aside some money each month so that I'm prepared when it comes to income tax time. And usually what I do is I overestimate the amount that I'm going to have to pay, and whatever is remaining after I've paid my income tax, I reinvest that amount into my program. And so in the spring, I buy quite a few new things. I also use this money for repair or paint or anything that I need for my program. Today, I'm just gonna share with you a couple of things I picked up while I was away on the weekend. The first thing I picked up was this adorable little mouse puzzle. I thought it was so sweet, and it has 24 pieces. And so I picked this up. I got this little wooden Fisher-Price herb set, and I thought it was super cute for our planting season. And it was $24.99 at Winners. I was at several different toy stores over the weekend, and I found this really sweet learning resource, Shape and Color Garden. I've always been really pleased with my products from Learning Resources, and so I thought this one was really sweet. It has all different types of plants on the back, and the children practice shape recognition. There's also numbers on here for number recognition, and so I thought this was a really sweet little set for the springtime. I also have a really young group right now, so I was specifically looking for younger children's toys, and I was really happy to see this. I thought it was super cute. We never seem to have enough balls in our yard, so I picked up another Crocodile Creek ball. I also wanted to get some more pails and buckets for the sandbox, and I found these really durable flower-shaped ones. I thought they were so cute, and these are much sturdier than the ones that you find at the dollar stores. I find when I buy those, they only last the season and then they're broken. And so I thought I would invest in some better quality ones this year, but these are really thick and really sturdy. And then I also grabbed some shovels. With spring comes bug season. I also picked up some deep-free bug repellent. I find we go through phases where the bugs are so bad, and I really need to keep an eye on them because they can get eaten alive if we're not careful. I don't typically put on bug spray every day. I usually wait and see what the bugs are like, but I always want to be prepared because sometimes we have really bad bugs here. So I got the DEET-free version of bug spray. This one's supposed to repel ticks and mosquitoes, and we do have ticks around here, so we want to be careful with that as well. Sometimes we go to the parks and it's nice to have a fold-up travel picnic blanket, but also sometimes I like to put activities on a picnic blanket for the children to do outside as well. We tend to spend all our time outside as soon as the weather is nice, and so sometimes I'll just bring some activities outside, and so it's nice to put that on a picnic blanket. So I grabbed this. This was actually a great deal because Indigo was having a sale. If you spent $30, then you could have a picnic blanket that's regularly $40 for $19.99. And because I'm a member, I actually had a deeper discount, and so I got this for $17. I'm always on the hunt for new fun water toys for our outdoor water table, and I find this is something that's hard to find. I was specifically looking for pipes. I think I've seen some pipes made by Boone, but I didn't see them. But I found these fun, bright colored cups. They're really durable, and it's fun for the children to transfer water from one to another. They're all varying sizes and different colors. They stack, and they all have a different sprinkling effect. So I thought these were kind of fun. And by the same company, I got these little squirters. They're interchangeable, so you can change the different tops and bottoms, and they also have different spraying features, so that's kind of fun. And it's perfect for the little ones who are practicing strengthening those finger muscles. So I think they'll have fun with these ones. Last year when we were away, we picked up a small little thing, and they turned out to be the cutest toy, and even the adults had so much fun with it. They're made by Nido, and they're called Noodlies, and they're in fun, bright colors. So in each pack you get 5 colors, and they're really thick. Stretch them and then let go, and then they fly across the room. They're a really fun sensory toy. I have a little calm down basket that I keep out for children if they just need some time to calm down. But this is also a fun tabletop activity where you could just place these in a little bowl for the children to play with. I just thought they were so fun. And so I got these. My husband and I went away for our anniversary on the weekend, and there's some amazing toy stores out that way. I found this little metal dustpan and broom set. It's really good quality, and I just wanted to keep this by our sensory table. I think it's really important that the children recognize that when they make a mess, they help clean it up. And so I always keep a little basket with some dustpan and brooms for the children to help out when it's time to clean up around the sensory table. And I thought this was the sweetest little one. I'll eventually probably invest in another set, but they weren't super cheap, so I just went with one this time, but I probably will get at least one other set the next time I go. At that same store, I got the sweetest little diaper bag. The pattern is adorable. It has all these wild flowers on it. It has some pockets in the front for some bottles, lots of room inside to put some diapers or clothing. I thought this was precious. And the last three things I picked up were jelly cats. Now, I would never call myself a collector of jelly cats, but I don't know if you've been hearing about the jelly cat rage, but there is a lot of competition going on with the whole jelly cat world. A lot of the stores won't sell online anymore because I guess what's happening is people are purchasing jelly cats and then they're selling them for 2 or 3 times the amount that the original price was. So Jellycat started doing Jellycat drops where they put out different jelly cats and people are going crazy. And so it's really difficult to get your hands on some of the more sought after jelly cats. I just learned this myself over the last few days, but I had my heart set on buying this pancake. I thought he was the cutest and I thought it would be perfect for our maple syrup theme. And I just really wanted him, but he was sold out everywhere. So one of the stores that I went to had Renee the waffle. And I love this one too. I think this one's adorable, but there's just something about the pancakes. Couldn't stop thinking about this one. And so I had called all the other stores and all of the other ones were sold out. But when I did a little bit of research, I found out that there was going to be a Jellycat drop and it was going to have the pancake. At this point, I had already purchased Renee the waffle in case I couldn't find a pancake. And so I had taken this home, but when I was speaking to one of the employees at an Indigo, they told me that there was going to be a Jellycat drop. There was definitely going to be some pancakes. But she said, the catch is, if you really want to get your hands on one, you're going to have to come an hour or 2 before the store opens because this whole Jellycat world has gotten crazy. And so my husband and I went 3 hours before opening. So our store was going to open at 10. We went at 7 o'clock in the morning and we had so much fun. Cars started showing up like crazy right at 7 o'clock. And we were like, wow, I can't believe this is crazy. Like, I can't believe people want these Jellycats so bad. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the car waiting to get my hands on this pancake. But it turns out the first batch of cars, it was a false alarm. They were just going to Starbucks before their rugby game. And so that batch of cars rolled away. But at 8 o'clock, cars started showing up and it was a rainy day. So we decided to wait in our car. And if other people got out of the car, then we'd go ahead and get in line. So around 8:30, the first person got out and stood in line. And so out we went and we got in this lineup. And sure enough, there was a ton of people that showed up for this Jellycat drop. And fortunately for us, we were number 2 and number 3. And so we were able to get our hands on this pancake. The craziest thing is there was only 2 of these pancakes. So if anybody else in that lineup wanted a pancake, there was only 2 of them and I got 1 of them. So it really is intense. I was joking with some of the people in line because they were asking if I was a collector and I was like, oh no, I'm not a collector. I'm just getting it for my daycare. And you know, the kids play with them all the time. They're not they're not just decorations. I like to put them for decoration, but the children play with them all the time. And they said, do you have more than 2? And I said, oh yeah, I definitely have more than 2. And they're like, you're a collector. So anyways, that was just a fun story about how I got the pancake. And then while I was there, I got talking with some of the other people in line, and we were talking about all the different ones. And I've always liked the plants and the big flowers, but I haven't seen them lately. And this is because I guess most of the stores don't actually display them for sale anymore. They just come out only for these drops. And so my husband had heard me say that. And so when we were in line for the pancakes, he said, did you want this one? And so I went ahead and purchased this one as well. I thought it was super cute. It's a nice decoration for your classroom, but the kids also love playing with them. So I spent a lot of money on these jelly cats because they're not cheap. So I hope you enjoyed this little haul, and I hope you enjoyed story time. I'm Krista with Playing with a Purpose. I'll see you next time.